And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate. It's all about helping you understand your buying decisions, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you may need it. 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. Call or text that number. It's an off-air line, and you can reach us right there, or on our website. You can submit an email form at consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you, and I implore you to check out consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida that we've assembled, we've vetted, and we bring on the show to help serve you as your consumer advocate. Over 80 different categories of consumer advocate content and advice. We want to be your super connector right here in Tampa Bay, putting you in touch with the best attorneys, CPA, financial advice, all types of home services, everything from home inspections, solar, termite inspections as well, and a great lineup for you today on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to have Doug Levi on the show, strategic insurance, talking about hurricane season. Yes, it's that time of year, hurricane season, and also insurance side hustling. Maybe you might want to look at how to make a little part-time income through insurance. It's all about relationships out there as well. We've got attorney Lauren Frieder back on the show as well. Frank Charles Miranda Law. We're going to talk about the legal profession, how law and the legal profession has been affected by COVID-19. What's happening with evictions? And the governor has pushed out the evictions to July 1st. So, what are tenants' rights and what are landlords' rights? We're going to talk about that here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, think about getting your insurance policies reviewed. If you think about the insurance policies for some people, there's some loopholes in there. There's some things that you can look at, especially now that COVID-19 has impacted businesses in Tampa Bay and in Florida. And also, we're going to close out the show with Heather Berg, Mobley Homes. She's a home builder right here in Tampa Bay. And Tim Mobley, 40 years in business building real estate properties. So we're going to talk about real estate market, real estate inventory as well. Inventory is super low. It's a situation where we were already at a low inventory marketplace here in Tampa Bay, and then COVID-19, coronavirus breaks out. And what does that do? It affects inventory levels even more. Pinellas County is down year over year, 997 properties actually, year over year, month, from the last months that we recorded. So we'd love to help you right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We have a great lineup for you today. A couple of hot properties for this segment here in Tampa Bay as well. 520 George Street South. This is on Lake Tarpon. It's a waterfront beauty, kind of giving you a sample of that Tarpon Springs area. What's available on the lake? Not much inventory, but this one's waterfront. You've got your own private dock. You've got wide open water views here in Tampa Bay at 520 George Street South, Tarpon Springs. You also have a separate income potential opportunity with a separate mother-in-law suite, which could be rented out. Now, it could also be a maid's quarters. Maybe you want to have a maid service or someone handle your cooking or cleaning. Right there, 520 George Street South, Tarpon Springs. Check out all of our beautiful listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And if you look at all the different factors of why people are moving to Florida, why are they moving out of New York, New Jersey, California, some of those states, the taxes, the weather. Now you've got the different riots in those situations, the crime affecting things here. In other states, people are moving to California, or moving from California, New Jersey, New York, to Tampa, to Florida, to states like Texas, Nevada, that has much warmer climate for real estate. Also, you got quality of life, taxes, quality of talent, airport, Tampa International Airport right here in Tampa Bay. So a lot of reasons why people are moving to Tampa Bay. Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We would love to help you. Check out our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. When we come back, Doug Levi in the house, insurance quarterback. Be right back.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. My name is You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, top 1% real estate company here in Tampa Bay, featured in Florida Realtor Magazine again recently, the May issue of Florida Realtor Magazine. That's the industry's trade publication. We were featured again for our branding, our uniqueness, and our innovations with marketing and branding here in Tampa Bay. So we'd love to serve you buying, selling, or investing. Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. A couple of hot listings here. This one just hit the market. 212 Bunker Hill Lane in Dunedin. It's right on the causeway there. So as you're heading out to Honeymoon Island and all the cool beaches of that area, 212 Bunker Hill Lane, Dunedin. Great opportunity to own real estate property. Priced very well. Check out the beautiful photography right here in Tampa Bay. Hot real estate listing in Dunedin, one of the best areas to live in all of Tampa Bay. Excellent food surrounding you and lots of parks and fun stuff to do around here. So living in that tropical paradise dream here in Tampa Bay. Also, 6417 Yvette Drive. This one's up in Hudson Beach, Pasco County. 6417 Yvette Drive. You got deep water access here. This is a property you got right out into the bay. Quick fishing trips, jet skis, boats, entertainment. Enjoy that Florida living lifestyle right here in Tampa Bay. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And this segment is brought to you by Two Maids and a Mop, the official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Two Maids and a Mop, and they have safe, reliable, professional-grade cleaning available. Two Maids and a Mop. Say hello to Tabitha and her awesome team. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties, and they can definitely do a great job cleaning yours. Two Maids and a Mop. Make sure you give them a call. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Talk to the Clearwater location. That's Tabitha and her team. Two Maids and a Mop, the official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got Doug Levi joining us here on the show. He is your insurance expert and the insurance quarterback here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Welcome back.
That's it, Brandon. Toss the ball to me, man. I'll throw it right back. Always good to be here and excited to share what's going on in the world of insurance and how our consumers out there can win.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to look at getting that review done. A lot of times people just keep re-signing their current insurance policy. I know we've had several listeners reach out and get that review done, and people are saving money.
Yeah, no doubt. We love saving clients money. I'd say on average, we save maybe 30 to 40% of people. We can oftentimes save money and add some value. And so really today, what I wanted to bring to the listening audience out there is we're in hurricane season already, which it's kind of hard to believe. I feel like this year it's definitely been, I'm sure you'd agree, Brandon, has not been probably the year most people thought or how it was going to go. And like a lot of things in life, you got to just roll with the punches. But yeah, we're already in hurricane season. We've already had 3 named storms. Cristobal over the weekend grabbed some headlines and kind of popped up in the Gulf and really went up and did some stuff in Louisiana. So really the takeaway I would encourage our listeners out there is A, we're in hurricane season. Do you understand what you've got in place right now? Do you know what your hurricane deductible is and how that your policy works? And then the other big thing, Brandon, that we talk around this time of year especially is flood insurance.
Yeah.
So if we just did sort of, a man on the street interview and polled people and said, hey, do you think your homeowner's covers if you have a flood? I think a lot of people would say, yeah, sure, that's covered, right? Well, it's not. And to be clear, we're talking about a flood from the outside. I'm not talking if a pipe bursts and causes a flood inside. I'm talking Hurricane Brandon comes along, dumps, 15 inches of water on us in a few days, and all of a sudden you've got standing water and water lines in your house not covered. So we want to make sure listeners know that in general, you're looking at maybe if you're in a flood zone, $500 to $1,000 a year. If you're not in a quote unquote high risk flood zone, we still encourage it. 30% of all floods occur in those zones, and you're anywhere from $200 to $400 a year based on coverage. So to me, it's still very much an affordable coverage. I've got it on my home. It's one of the biggest risks we face. So we definitely want to make sure, kind of raise that awareness around flood insurance right now.
Yeah, and talk to us, Doug. So there's been some changes over recent years. Back in the day, we had a lot of hurricanes in, of course, the Gulf Coast region of Florida, the New Orleans area, Florida. But then Superstorm Sandy hit up in New York, and it's like, wow, hurricane up here, and then that really hit hard on the National Flood Insurance Program and some of that money. But now you're in touch with, and by the way, Doug is a broker. He's got relationships with a couple dozen or so different carriers and writers. But there's also private flood insurance policies that are able to be written now as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, the marketplace has changed quite a bit. I've owned the agency 14 years. I've been in the insurance business 18, pretty much right out of college. So, yeah, it's changed tremendously. Traditionally, we used to really just have one option, and that's through the federal government. Most flood insurance still is backed by the federal government. Now, you may access it through, nationwide insurance or Travelers or Allstate or State Farm or Progressive or whomever, but it's really all backed by the federal government, and the government sort of gives it to the insurance company to manage the process, manage the claims, manage the money. What we've seen in the last several years, though, is the private market come into play. And really, we're talking about carriers like Lloyd's of London, AIG, Lexington, a handful of names. Some may be familiar to listeners out there, some may not, that are in times competing with the federal government. And I can tell you, Brandon, case after case where we've seen times where we've been able to help a client who thought they just had an option through the federal government. We did our research and our due diligence. We call it a market comparison. We always start with a market comparison. And as you said, we have access to really over 25 carriers total in our property and casualty space. And our whole goal is to match and find you the best coverage and the best rates and do that year after year. So again, another takeaway to the listeners is even if you've got flood insurance existing right now, you want to reach out to us. We're happy to do a review and find out, is the federal government the best option? It may not be. And we'd love to put some dollars back in your pocket and potentially still get you better, if not same, if not better coverage.
Yeah, I think it's all about getting that review done. Text the word insurance or review to 813-670-7372. We'll put you right in touch with Doug Levi and his awesome team over at Strategic Insurance. Kayla's on the team. She does a great job as well. Doug Levi, text insurance review to 813-670-7372. We'd love to save you some money right here in Tampa Bay. And supporting the local economy is very big. I think now more than ever we're seeing that. I think it's an awesome time to be a collaborative economy, here in Tampa Bay. If you're hearing our voice in the Gulf Coast region of Florida, we urge you to check out our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors, 80 different categories of consumer advocate content and advice right here that's delivered to you as a consumer advocate, no strings attached, no commission breath around here. And Doug, when we talk about the issues of today, insurance. You had also mentioned in a previous show if business owners, if they're not hitting the certain revenues, they have an opportunity to write that down and kind of save some money on their business insurance.
Yeah, I'll give you a great example. Won't mention the name. They're a local restaurant, great restaurant. I'm actually meeting with them tomorrow, as a matter of fact, for their annual review. And what we're doing for them is, successful restaurant, but obviously with COVID, they've had a lot of changes and their revenue has gone down. Now, we jumped on this early on, by the way. We didn't just wait for the review. We made some changes pretty early on into COVID, where we said, look, if revenues are impacted, we want to make that adjustment now with the carrier. And the basic concept out there for the listeners, and this is true for a lot of business insurance, I would say a lot of times, whether could be a restaurant, could also be a lot of contractors this could impact. The insurance could be based on either your revenue or your payroll. And so if you had a change to revenue or payroll due to COVID especially, you could actually go back to the carrier and potentially amend what your projected numbers are and pay a lower premium now, right? Eventually it will all catch up. If you waited a full year, they would do an audit and then you would get that money back. But I'm a small business owner myself, Brendan, right? Just like you. I mean, my small business is my insurance agency. And so my heart is for small business people. I know what it's like every day to be out there and, trying to help clients and trying to make the phone ring and take care of your team members and take care of all the different things you got going on. So I want to help our clients win now and put dollars in their pockets now. I don't want them to have to wait. I'm a lot more worried about them than I am the insurance companies. You follow me? So,
absolutely.
But a lot of people don't know that. And again, I'd encourage listeners out there that may just, I've had auto owners for years or State Farms for years or some of these big name players. And I'm not saying they're bad. They definitely can be good companies. But if you don't really dig in or have somebody that's monitoring that for you, you may just be overpaying. You may not be being accurate to what you're really at. So got to have somebody to be that quarterback for you and really manage that. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, it's important to get that review, find out what you have in your policy too. A lot of times you can change deductibles. There's a lot of things to consider. Talk about deductibles for a moment, Doug.
Yeah, so I wrote a book called Surviving the Insurance Jungle a few years ago. We've talked about it on the show before. People can check it out on Amazon.com. You can get it on Kindle. I think it's $3 or paperback for like 10 or 12. But, I basically just walk through what we've done in our agency for years to help clients get the best value for their insurance dollars. So we really focus on a few things. And one of the basic concepts of insurance is the higher the deductible, the lower the premium. And that's really true any type of insurance. That could be your medical insurance. That could be your homeowners. That could be your auto insurance. And so, part of it is getting your eyes on your policy and even understanding what you have. I tell people this, and this is a real easy takeaway. If I've got a homeowner's policy and let's say I've got $1,000 deductible and I move it up to a $2,500 deductible, I may save anywhere from, let's say, $300 to $500 a year. Depending on the carrier, it can be a pretty big savings.
Mm-hmm.
And man, how nice would that be to put some of that dollars back in my pocket? Now, and again, you always got to balance. I tell people, look, there's ditches on both sides of the road. You want to make sure if you don't feel comfortable, it's like, oh, if something happened, I couldn't swing $2,500. I get that. So you want to be mindful of that. But a lot of times people are normally, when they see the numbers, they're willing to understand, okay, I'm going to be willing to take a little bit more risk to bank that savings each year. And another way to look at it, if you say, well, I hadn't had any claims for 10 years, well, all of that would be recaptured money that you now have an opportunity to invest, whether that's the stock market or a piece of rental property or savings or family life or whatever that is. So we're big on that, is just counseling our client of how you can get the absolute best value in each of your situations.
Yeah, it's interesting, too. It kind of leads me into an article that I brought in for the show today. CNN Business. Americans are so nervous about the state of the economy that they're stashing cash in the bank at rates not seen since the Reagan administration. Talks about the United States Government Bureaus of Economic Analysis. The savings rate urged to 13.1% in March, up 8% in February. So the Americans total have $2.1 trillion in savings as of last month. Consumers are putting more money away at the time when markets and Treasury bonds are yielding next to nothing, and the Federal Reserve slashed rates to zero last month. So it's interesting to see that the economic times, how we're saving more money now, Doug.
Yeah, no doubt. I think there's a lot of fear, no doubt, and just in terms of the economy and the marketplace. But I'm an eternal optimist, Brandon, much like you. And I love and believe in this country and believe we still live in the greatest country that's ever been created. And a lot of that is how we were founded, or our foundation based on biblical and faith-based principles. And I love to see how our economies even bounce back. I mean, I'm not a big stock market guy, but I follow things and just try and keep aware of what's going on. And you look, the market's pretty much rebounded almost to where it was before all this hit. I mean, golly day. And I love that you've got a show like yours, Brandon, that's so positive and encouraging and tries to get good info out there. But, it's sometimes hard to hear that good info out there. So, there's probably a lot of people saving more than normal, but there's probably a lot of great opportunities to also, for the wise, smart investor, whether that's in real estate or the stock market, to really look to earn some great returns right now. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in the real estate sector, which if you look at Airbnb properties, you'll look at, the ability to buy a duplex, triplex, quad. We urge you to get with Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. Get your pre-approval done and make sure that you're in a position to do that. And investors are winning right now. These folks that, face it with real estate, you have to have a roof over your head. You got to live somewhere. And it's an insurable asset, which we're talking with Doug Levi here, Strategic Insurance, and definitely can help you on the insurance side.
Yeah, no doubt. I love there's a quote from Warren Buffett that says, you need to buy when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful, or something to that effect, right? That kind of that contrarian viewpoint. Don't always go in the way of the herd, if you will. So, yeah. And on that note, real quick on the insurance, we've got great options for people for short-term rentals. That's become a whole other dynamic because we see that so often and I came across something this week. I probably sort of knew it in the back of my mind, but I didn't really think about it that much. And again, it ties back to you in real estate, Brandon. But Florida is the largest state in the country for people with secondary homes or rental homes or vacation homes, right? So that is a huge marketplace in itself. And there's special scenarios that impact the insurance. So it's just important. Another takeaway for the listeners out there is if maybe you bought a second home and maybe you already had, or you had insurance on a home that you then turned into a secondary home or a rental, you need to make some adjustments to your insurance. And maybe you don't know that, or maybe you didn't do that. And so we never want to give the insurance company any wiggle room to say, we didn't know what's going on, we're going to try and deny a claim. So we just always want to make sure that as your situation may change with your home or any real estate, that you're either giving us a call or contacting your company so you can make those changes and make sure the policy is going to perform the way you want it to.
Yeah, right on. We're talking with Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance, TampaBayInsurance.com, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's our expert contributor. He's one of our 50-plus show partners, and he's an expert in the property casualty, business insurance, all types of insurances, and a.k.a. the insurance quarterback here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Doug Levi. And I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, and we're talking about also incomes have fell. So here's another Market Watch update, the numbers. U.S. incomes fell in March, but not as much as spending, pushing the savings rate to its highest level in 39 years. The government said Thursday income fell 2% in March with an identical decline in disposable income. So let's talk a little bit about your income, your insurance sidehustling.com as well, Doug.
Yeah, so insurancesidehustling.com, something we came up with about a year ago. And it's funny, I just came from a meeting this morning where I was talking with a group of guys. We did a little presentation on it for one of my groups I'm in, and we're just excited about the idea. Really what we're doing, as simple as we can put it, Brandon, is we're showing people how to earn really good part-time income from their home, which is frankly always popular. I think has only grown with all the COVID and sort of social distancing things, and doing home and auto insurance. And we take you really what I kind of say from tea to green. So we work with people that maybe have no background in insurance or even sales, But I always say, Brandon, if you got all, which I call attitude and work ethic, I use that as a little acronym. If you got all, good attitude and good work ethic, we can really teach you the rest. We can show you how to get licensed. We've seen people get licensed for their home and auto insurance license in as little as a week. Then we work with you and we show you about marketing and networking and how to start to build a pipeline. And no, it's not just all sell to all your family and friends. And then we really, once you start getting business, we manage that for you. So we help do all the service, all the overhead. Every time a client may call and say, hey, got a question on my policy, or I don't understand my bill, or my rate went up, or I had a claim, all that. Our core service team, which is some of the best in the business, helps manage all that for you. And we're seeing some great results. We're seeing people coming on board and earning some really good money and having a lot of fun doing it. And, the thing I also love, Brandon, just being a kind of a vision, mission guy, is you're helping people with a practical need, right? And
Right.
On the front end, a lot of times you're either able to help people save some money or just point some things out they didn't know. We really teach our team to be educators, right?
Right.
I love kind of that concept that Dave Ramsey has, where he talks about having the heart of a teacher. And, my mom was a school teacher for 37 years, and I love and have a sweet spot for teachers. And we do a lot of teaching in our practice. And sometimes we don't always win the client, but we may have put them in a better spot and say, hey, come back to me down the road. Come back to me 6 months from now, a year from now. Let's check in again. Maybe they walked away and said, oh, I didn't know I didn't have rental car coverage. Oh, I didn't realize that I didn't have replacement cost on my contents, or whatever it may be.
Yep.
Just simple things to really try and make a difference out there. So, yeah, we're having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it's evident. Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance. Reach out and touch base. TampaBayInsurance.com. He's got the insurance side, hustling.com, and a lot of good stuff happening here in Tampa Bay. And, Doug, thanks so much. We'll let you get back to your busy schedule, and thanks for contacting us or calling into the show here, buddy.
Absolutely. It's always great to be with you, Brandon. Have a great day, man. I always say dream big and make it happen, everybody.
Excellent. I love it. All right, good stuff. And Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And when we come back, we're going to have attorney Lauren Frieder in studio representing Frank Charles Miranda Law. Actually, he's going to be zooming in, and we're going to talk about things happening in the law profession, the legal profession. How has COVID-19 affected legal? And we're also going to jump into some market stats right here. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. A couple of hot listings for you here, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. We got Catch Court up in Point Alexis North. This is an awesome opportunity to build your dream home in a gated community, private community. Check out the beautiful photography compliments of Fabre Frameworks. Catch Court, Tarpon Springs, great opportunity to build your dream home right here in Tampa Bay with water views of the Gulf of Mexico right here in Tampa Bay. $99,000. We have another lot available in that same community, and I've got a $2.5 million listing coming up in that community as well. And stay tuned. 520 George Street South, Tarpon Springs. This is lakefront, waterfront on Lake Tarpon. Beautiful property. You got your own private dock, mother-in-law suite. Great opportunity to have a rental property or live-in maid's quarters. Bring your boat, bring your jet ski, stand-up paddle boards, and enjoy the awesome fishing on Lake Tarpon. 2,500-acre lake, one of the largest lakes in Central Florida. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. platinummvpteam.kw.com. Right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. All right. Somewhere sunny and 75. And this segment is brought to you by the Golf Cart Depot. Check out our friends Marty and his team at Golf Cart Depot. They do a great job over there. They're going to hook you up with the Easy Go. They've got the Star EV, Cushman, remanufactured and pre-owned golf carts available from the Golf Cart Depot of Florida. Golf Cart Depot, let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives to all of our radio and TV show family out there in the greater Tampa Bay area. All right, attorney Lauren Frieder back on the Consumer Quarterback Show representing Frank Charles Miranda Law. Welcome to the show, Lauren.
Thanks for having me, Brandon. I'm glad to be here from afar.
Excellent. Yes. COVID-19 is still affecting us in terms of radio productions and some of that kind of stuff, but also it's having its impact on the legal profession.
It absolutely is. It's been interesting, changing with the times, something that the legal profession needs to probably do a better job with. We actually just got done doing one of the first Zoom trials that have probably occurred in all of Florida, but I can definitely speak to Hillsborough County, and that was a great experience.
Nice. Okay, good. Yeah, we've heard some of the ones. I think there was one in Texas where they found some of the jurors that were messing around on their cell phones when they're supposed to be tuned in. So, yeah, there's some challenges there.
Well, we did a bench trial, and I'm more than happy to share some thoughts about it. I don't know how I feel about a jury trial via Zoom. I just think a lot of things are lost when you start bringing a jury in via Zoom. I think it should be in person.
I agree with you there. That's a challenge, especially if someone's life is on the line in terms of different court procedures or potential implications. Now let's jump right into some of the eviction space. You're a real estate firm over there. You're doing title closings as well. Frank Charles Miranda Law. What's going on with evictions and do landlords or tenants, are they working together on that?
Well, the eviction is, with the COVID and the different state orders and the CARES Act, it's been, unprecedented in really what's happening in these times. So hopefully landlords are trying to work with their tenants. I think what is really important, we do a lot of evictions in commercial and residential. So I really want to touch base, as most people are hopefully aware, in Florida, Governor DeSantis has extended the evictions and foreclosures through July 1st. And what's important to understand about Governor DeSantis' order is it only includes residential tenancies, so commercial tenants are not exempt from this. But what I really want to touch base on with this order is it doesn't mean you don't have to pay your rent. First of all, only evictions are stayed under his order as it relates to non-payment of rent by residential tenants due to COVID-19. So if you're a resident and you're renting and you breach the lease for other reasons, maybe you're not supposed to have pets in your apartment, that would be a non-monetary breach that is not related to COVID. So that's really important that people understand this. And really also what's important is this doesn't, like I said before, it doesn't mean you don't have to pay your rent. Your lease agreement is a contract. This just means right now your landlord is not going to be able to evict you during this stay in place. so long as the reason that you cannot pay your rent relates to COVID-19. But when this stay is lifted, you best believe that landlords are going to line up and they're going to start filing their evictions because they have been out of getting, receiving rent for months now. So a lot of people are some people might be taking advantage of this. Some people obviously really do need this help. And I do believe from everything that I've read, part of the reason that Governor DeSantis went ahead and extended this eviction and foreclosures order till July 1st is because of the problem with the unemployment system in Florida, people not being able to receive their checks to help pay towards rent. So this helps out people a lot. But come July 1st, if you haven't paid your rent, you better be ready that they're probably going to evict you. My best thing that I say to people is, talk to your landlord first. See if you can work something out to try to avoid late fees and automatic eviction being filed. A lot of landlords are very understanding. Just don't ignore the landlord if you're trying to work something out. And that's the same thing with commercial tenants. Talk with your landlord. Everybody's in this together. And I think that's really important is an open communication. Something else to consider in your lease agreement, whether you're a commercial or residential tenant, is there's a provision in almost all contracts called a force majeure clause. And that might be in your contract where you might be able to get your rent excused. But it's really important that you look at the language in the force majeure clause because most force majeure clauses, as of now, do not talk about pandemics. I bet you when people write up new leases and agreements, they'll now cover that in the force majeure clause. So the courts look at that clause very narrowly. So it's not necessarily going to be a way to escape out of paying your rent. It's to say it's impossible to perform because of COVID-19. But if pandemic's not in there, don't claim this is just an act of God. It's got to be specific.
Yeah, that's important to understand what's in the contracts. We're talking with attorney Lauren Frieder here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. She's representing Frank Charles Miranda Law. And you think about all the different changes that have happened, and you mentioned commercial. I think commercial is going to see a tremendous amount of REO activity, foreclosure activity in the third, maybe the fourth quarter of this year, even on into 2021. And you got companies like Starbucks asking their leases to be forgiven, and they're asking for not 30, not 60 day, 90 day. They're asking for 1 year forbearances on some of their properties nationwide. So it's a huge impact that we've seen through COVID-19.
It is a huge impact, and it's really interesting to see how this is all going to be played out. Obviously, the landlords depend on paying their mortgages for the most part through getting that rental money. So it really is important to try to work it out if you can, and also be understanding that your landlord just may not be able to excuse late payments because they might be in a tough situation too. I think nearly half the rentals in the United States are, I was reading up on this, are owned just by just individuals.
Yeah. And then back in 2008, going back to the meltdown, a lot of the hedge fund buyers came in, bought a lot of real estate properties, fixed them up, rented them out. But yeah, it's interesting to see how much, inventory that is institutional inventory as well versus owned by, single citizens that are just basically small business owners in a sense. And you guys are hiring right now, as we are. We're hiring with, real estate's busy. Tell us what you're looking for.
Yeah, we are hiring. We want to expand our title closing side. Obviously, Brandon, that we do real estate closings. So we're crushing it over here. We've been really busy. So we are looking to expand our law firm and hire an experienced title closer to join our team. If you're interested, you can shoot us an email at Lauren, Lauren, at fcmlaw.com, or to Frank Miranda, the boss man, at Frank, Frank, at fcmlaw.com. Once again, that's Frank at fcmlaw.com. And we're excited to expand our team. It's great because I know a lot of people are out of jobs. And so this is our opportunity to continue to help people by expanding our law firm.
Now, also, another way that you're helping people is with insurance policy reviews due to the COVID-19, a.k.a. the Chinese virus.
Yes. Right now, what we're doing is we're reviewing two types of insurance policies for businesses that have gross earnings of $500,000 or more. And the two types of insurance policies that we're reviewing are business loss policies and property insurance policies. We believe that the insurance companies are just simply denying all these claims without justification. So if you believe that a claim exists, we will accept the representation based upon a reduced contingency rate agreement of 25% if the settlement is reached before litigation is commenced and 33% after litigation is commenced. So I think that's a really great, it's something for anybody that, has gross earnings of $500,000 or more with these big insurance policies. And as we know, insurance companies are really well known for just denying claims without any explanation. So we're here to take a look at these policies, file deck actions or declaratory actions, and just see if we can right some wrongs. And that's what we do here.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. And you are located right here in Tampa. You've got the beautiful new office building that was recently built right there on Cypress Street, correct?
That's correct. Yes. And we're here. We are here every day. I'm always available 24/7. So right here in Tampa.
Yeah, one of the main challenges we have in real estate is this low inventory market that we're seeing. It's, the inventory's down. Well, flashback a year ago, the inventory was already low, and now you add COVID-19 into the mix. Now we are down in some counties. It's 396 listings year over year in Pasco County. In Pinellas County, it's down 997 listings from the same month year over year. So that's our main challenge is we need more sellers. We need more inventory, and it's a great time for the move-up buyer right now. And what I mean when I say a move up buyer, let's say you bought a home, your first home or maybe second home, and you said, hey, we're going to live somewhat frugal here. We're going to stay in our, $150,000 to $250,000 home. And all of a sudden now you're making more money. You got money saved in the bank. You graduated with a new degree from a university or something. You have more income. You say, hey, let's move up to a $500,000 home. Let's buy our dream home. Great time to do that because you've got so much inventory down in the low inventory rather. There's so much competition for those lower priced homes. And then when you move up to a $500,000, $600,000 home, there's less inventory there as well, and there's less competition there. So it's a great opportunity to purchase and do it for a move there for Lauren.
It is a really great time to do this. The rates are great. We're getting a lot of refis on people that already have mortgages. So, if you're interested in buying a house, I definitely suggest get with Brandon and then come to us and let us close on it. Because it's an opportunity that you really don't want to pass up if this is the time for you.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Hey, great stuff. Thanks for calling into the show, Lauren. We appreciate it. Say hello to Frank and Stephanie and the team over there at Frank Charles Miranda Law.
Absolutely. You guys stay safe. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Will do. All right. When we come back, we have Heather Berg coming in from Mobley Homes. We're going to talk about the housing market, new construction homes, and also our feel-good story of the day. Dozens of strangers lift van off woman injured in car crash. Stay with us right here. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife Lindsay and I own and operate a top 1% real estate group here in Tampa Bay, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. We do have cash offers, instant offers through our program, Keller Offers, so we can buy properties cash fast. If somebody needs to sell quickly, we would love to talk to them. Reach out to our hotline, 813-670-7372. Consumer Advocate hotline is 813-670-7372. And you can call or text that line. Also hit us up on the website, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our 50-plus show partners helping you win in any marketplace. That is our motto around here at the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out 19206 US Highway 19 in Clearwater. This is a commercial opportunity right here in Tampa Bay. Great 1031 exchange opportunity for any commercial buyers out there. It's a corner freestanding building on US 19 in Clearwater, one of the hottest city markets, real estate markets in all of the United States. 19206 US Highway 19 North in Clearwater, listed over $1 million. Great opportunity right here in Tampa Bay. Another commercial property that we've got in Tampa, 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. This is a freestanding office building, another commercial opportunity. You got signage out on Hillsborough Avenue, 40 to 50,000 vehicles going by every day, and it's fenced in, completely fenced in. You got a huge conference room, small kitchen, 8 other offices available at 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Check out all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. This segment is brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Say hello to our friends Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. Get hooked up with the Myers Cocktail Vitamin Infusion Drip right into your bloodstream. It's going to help you boost your immune system, which a lot of people are looking for now. And reach out to Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Every day, we're going to tell you something positive in our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
Okay, so a woman said she had goosebumps after seeing what happened moments after a van and a truck collided in Indianapolis. Lori Collins told the WTHR that she heard an impact but did not see the crash. When she got closer, she was horrified. A woman who had been thrown from the van was trapped underneath it. And, quote, you could see the lady was underneath the van, Collins said. All of a sudden, all these people came out of nowhere, all kinds of different people, and they were just trying to get together to help her. You could see them talking to her, trying to get her, assess her, and they all just said, we're going to have to lift this van off of her. And I think they said 1, 2, 3, and they all pushed up and couldn't get it. And then 2 more guys came over to try to help. With the van lifted up, others were able to pull the woman to safety, according to WTHR. The woman who was injured was taken to Ezricana hospital in critical but stable condition. Collins said, as heart-wrenching as it was to see the person injured, it was the moment she will never forget. All right, there's our feel-good story of the day. People coming together, all races, all creeds, lifting the van off the woman, and what a cool story here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we're going to welcome in Heather Berg, Mobley Homes. Welcome to the studio.
Hey, Brandon. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So we love to talk about real estate here in Tampa Bay. As we mentioned, low inventory market in Tampa Bay. The market is super low inventory, and you are a local home builder representing a family-owned business that's been in business for 40 years. Tell us a little bit about new construction and what you're seeing.
Yes, we have 2 new properties that we're building in the Tampa area. Carrollwood Landings is a single-family home community with 52 homes at the moment. We are in phase 1 right now. We have pre-sold over 16 homes already.
Nice.
Yes. Those are.
Love Carrollwood, by the way.
It's a perfect location. It's off of Casey Road.
Yep.
And it has between 1,800 square foot to over 3,400 square foot homes.
Nice.
1 and 2 story. There's 7 different floor plans to choose from. All of our communities are gated. And we've had a great response to them. They start low 400s.
Beautiful. Yeah, I love Carrollwood. It's a great area. Tampa Bay is a great place. And, the ability to build your own home. I was mentioning off air that, my wife and I built our own home. We built on Lake Tarpon to live that beautiful lifestyle. And to, some people they don't want to have a home that's been lived in. They don't want to go through the old inventory that's there. And again, it's a low inventory market that we have here in Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco counties. All the inventory is so low. So it makes for a great idea to shop new in some cases and see if it fits your budget.
Yes, and of course, with new homes, there's warranties, and so it's really a great way to get into a house you want without any worries. And they are semi-custom. You can come in as a buyer and choose all your finishes and have it just the way you want.
Beautiful. I love that idea. And talk about for the realtor community. A lot of realtors listen to our show, mortgage, title folks, investors. There are some realtor incentives as well with some new homes and new builds, and also maybe even buyer incentives. There's some ways that you can help the buyers out as well for qualification purposes.
Yes, on some of our properties, we do have realtor incentives. We also have buyer incentives with our preferred lenders.
Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So the ability to buy a new home, plan it how you want. You can make some changes. I'm sure you have some models, but you can kind of make some changes if you wanted to, or is that kind of frowned against?
We have different elevations for all of our models. So
Yep.
There's a number of different exterior finishes that they can choose from.
Yep.
And then also, as I said, in the home itself, they pick out everything just the way they want it. They'll come to our show house and see all the options that they have for cabinets, countertops, flooring, hardware, everything.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So the ability to, go in and just kind of make it your own, choose it how you'd like. My wife, Lindsay, did a great job on our home with the different colors and the variations of flooring and, the stairwell matching and some of the things that you do to design your home. So if people don't have that designer's eye, then you come in and you help them out.
Yes, we do.
That's awesome.
We have people that will help them go through all the options and customize it just the way they like. It's not going to be cookie cutter at all.
That's great. Yeah. So what other projects do you have going on? You mentioned the one in Carrollwood.
Yes. We also have a villa community that we're building off of Florida Avenue. It's just south of the Apex on 41. Mm-hmm. So you'll enter on 41, which is also Florida, and there's also a back gate on Nebraska.
Very nice. How many properties do you have there? So those are townhomes?
Those are villa homes, so
Yep.
they have a common wall.
Okay.
And there will be 72 of those. There will be a community pool.
Nice.
And they're 1 and 2 story, but in the 2 story, the master is down. So it's great for someone who really doesn't want to do the stairs any longer.
Yeah, to trek up those stairs. I think that's a big thing in Florida is to try to have that master on the ground floor if you can, especially as you age. Hey, this could be my last home. I don't want to have to go upstairs. I think that's big. I love the idea of having a gated community. We love our gate. It's nice to have that. It just helps you feel a little bit secure, especially if you have kids.
Exactly. This is a beautiful property. There's wetlands and ponds, and we're going to have a walking trail on the northern pond for the use of the people in the community. They range from 1,600 square feet to over 2,100 square feet. And what's unique about these villas, they have a courtyard at the entrance. So unlike some other villa properties, you don't walk out your front door to see your neighbor's front door. You have your own private gated courtyard in the front of your house,
nice.
as well as a private patio on the back.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've really thought that through.
Exactly. And when you're in them, we have over 9-foot ceilings. We still have kitchens the size of a full family home. And you really feel the spaciousness when you're inside them.
And you mentioned Lake Pageant too. You got properties on Lake Pageant.
I have 1 property left.
Nice.
We had built a gated community, the Manors on Lake Pageant in Land O'Lakes. There's 8 homes. Everything has sold but 1 property.
Nice.
So if you're interested, contact me. It's a great location. It's on Lake Pageant, which is one of the largest lakes in Land O'Lakes. Over 30 feet of lakefront property. It's got a dock. It's just a special piece of land for someone.
Florida lifestyle at its best, living on a lake. And
Exactly.
we're talking with Heather Berg here, Mobley Homes. Mobleyhousing.com is the website, mobleyhousing.com. And are you acquiring? I've got 12, 15 different vacant land lot listings. Are you guys acquiring land right now?
We are always in the process of acquiring new land to build on.
Good. Well, I'd love to talk to your acquisitions department. I've got some great opportunities right here in Tampa Bay. So, hey, another great show. I want to thank our expert contributors. Heather, thank you so much for giving us some insights on Mobley Homes, and been around 40 years. That's awesome. 4 decades in the Tampa Bay area. And we want you reaching out to our expert contributors. We had Doug Levi on the show as well earlier, strategic insurance expert, talking about hurricane season coming up. It's hurricane season. Make sure you look at your policies, get your review. InsuranceSideHustling.com as well. And also we spoke with attorney Lauren Frieder, Frank Charles Miranda Law, talking about evictions being halted and Zoom trials and that ever-changing space of business now due to COVID-19. So we want to thank all of our listeners, our viewers, our producers out there. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Lots of ways you can do something kind for one another. Donate some time, donate some blood, maybe swing a hammer for Habitat for Humanity. Warwick Dunn Charities is another great, former guest of our show, and do something kind for one another. We always really talk about that random act of kindness here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We would love to connect with you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Over 1,000 videos on our YouTube channel, and of course follow us at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, and the Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time